Hello students, I welcome you to my class once again. Today I have come with a new video for you. Today we are going to discuss on the question, why do you think Gandhi considered the Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life? This thing we have found in the story also, this particular line you must have read. Now, what are the points on which you can develop your own answer to this question? Now, Gandhiji returned from South Africa to India in the year 1915, and in 1916, he was at that time in his 40s, and he thought of first to get a clear view of India and its people, condition of the people. And that's why he joined the Indian National Congress, and in 1916 he was attending the first meeting of the Indian National Congress at Lucknow, which was held in 1916. Now there a farmer or an agriculturist, you can say, named Rajkumar Shukla. He also reached Lucknow because he wanted to discuss about the problem or the atrocities that the farmers of Champaran they were facing. What was happening in Champaran at that time was this, that the British landowners, they used to force the farmers who were the peasants, who were cultivating their lands, to use 15% of the land for indigo cultivation. Understood? And the entire crop that they were getting as harvest was supposed to be deposited as rent. Now, indigo was such a crop that used to destroy the fertility of the soil. It was such a crop. So, most of the farmers, they were not ready to do this cultivation. They were not ready to use 15% of their land for indigo cultivation because they believed it destroys the soil, and later the soil does not remain any good for any other cultivation. Now, this indigo was a very profitable business. The British landowners, they were supplying this indigo, exporting this indigo and earning a huge profit. In the meantime, Germany started producing synthetic dyes, synthetic indigo. Thus, the demand of Indian indigo became less in the foreign market. So now but the poor peasants were unaware of all this development because they were uneducated, illiterate people. So the British landowners befooled them and told them that they were releasing them from this 50% contract. As a result, because they were being released, they should pay them a compensation. Most of the farmers were ready because they wanted to get rid of this problem forever. So some of them paid the compensation. Some were not ready to pay the compensation, so they moved the court. So this was the exact situation in Champaran when Rajkumar Shukla reached Lucknow to discuss about the problem with other leaders over there. Understood? And when he talked with the leaders about this problem of Champaran, he was advised that he should meet Gandhi if he wants to get a solution to this problem. Thus, Rajkumar Shukla met Mahatma Gandhi told him about this particular problem, what was the exact situation at Champaran at that time, and he requested Gandhi to visit Champaran once. Gandhiji had other appointments, other commitments, so it was not possible for him to go to Champaran immediately. But Rajkumar Shukla was a persistent person, and he started following Gandhi wherever he went. Finally, Gandhiji gave him a date and asked him to meet him at Kolkata. That time Kolkata was known as Calcutta. Asked him to meet him at Calcutta, and Rajkumar Shukla was waiting for Gandhi at that particular place at Kolkata. So from there they boarded a train. They did not go to Champaran. First they came to Patna to meet Dr. Rajendra Prasad, because Rajkumar Shukla was a regular visitor in his house and he had discussed about the problem of the sharecroppers over there. Gandhiji, he went to Champaran from Patna. He could not meet Rajendra Prasad was out of town. They were not able to meet him. So Gandhiji went from here. First he went to Motihari and Muzaffarpur. From there to Motihari. Now the question is, why do we consider this Champaran episode as a turning point in his life? It was a turning point in his life because Gandhiji was not a very, you can say, well-known face in Indian politics at that time, because he had just started his career after returning from South Africa in 1916. And this Champaran episode, because of Gandhiji's innovative civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji decided to solve the problem not following the path of violence but by following the path of non-violence. And thus, for the first time in India, civil disobedience triumphed. Was a huge success, and it became a very popular movement. The movement of Champaran came to be known as Champaran Satyagraha and established Mahatma Gandhi as a national leader. Okay, so the people of India, they came to know about Mahatma Gandhi, that came to know about his civil disobedience movement, about his Satyagraha, only when he took a very active part and went to and was ready to go to any extent, not by following the path of violence, but in a very calm and passive way. In a very peaceful manner. He wanted to settle the matter. He wanted to help out the farmers, and finally he was successful in doing so. His non-violence method was so very powerful that the British authorities were compelled to surrender. And finally they surrendered and they returned the money that they had taken by deceiving the farmers, not the entire amount but 25% of the amount. But that too meant a lot for the Indian farmers, because previously, before the interference of Mahatma Gandhi in the matter, the farmers could never think of going against the British landowners, of going against the British authorities. They got the strength, they became fearless when Mahatma Gandhi came to help them. And thus, Mahatma Gandhi also emerged as a national leader, as a person who was always there to stand by the side of the needy and the poor. And that is why we can say that indeed the Champaran Satyagraha, or the episode in Champaran, was a turning point in the life of Mahatma Gandhi.